Hi everyone, it's Kai with SeriousWatches, and in this video we're going to be talking about our most expensive, most exclusive watches. We've done some videos about our most affordable, best value for money, that sort of thing, but in this video it's no holds barred. We're going to be looking at the high-end pieces that we stock. We made a top 4. Why 4? I don't know, but we picked 4, and they're going to be the most expensive watches that we have in our collection, and I'm going to be doing some explaining why they're more expensive than some of the more affordable watches that we have. Because with watches, it's sort of a scale that when you buy €100 watch, it will represent a certain quality, and when you buy a €200 watch, that €200 watch will be much better usually than the €100 watch. But the change is that the improvements become more and more expensive. So if you compare a €2,000 watch to a €1,000 watch, the difference will be much smaller than, for example, a €200 watch to a €100 watch. Now, we want to be taking our most expensive pieces and just explain a little bit why they're so expensive and why they're so special. Coming in at number 4 is a Raymond watch, and let me just show it. This is the Raymond Freelancer Jimi Hendrix limited edition. As well, you can see on the case back there's a picture of Jimi Hendrix, and this watch, it's a mechanical chronograph watch. It comes in around €3,100, and as you can see, for a watch that has branding related to a musician, it's still rather, it's not too shouty. It's actually, even if you don't particularly like Jimi Hendrix, this is still a very nice watch to wear. And you may wonder why is this watch €3,100? It features a mechanical automatic chronograph movement, which always tends to be more expensive. They're expensive movements to make. They're high quality pieces. So the movement in this watch, it's not super high end, but it's a good movement. It's an expensive movement, so that already adds to the price. Now, another thing that makes this watch more expensive is, of course, the Jimi Hendrix branding, because it also comes with a great box. Let me show you. Well, the box that goes around this box is even bigger. I mean, you've got a box and a box and a box. So this all adds to the experience. And obviously there's branding involved. So it's an officially licensed product. So they have all the permissions and all the rights for this product. And that makes the watch more expensive. Because if you look at the Raymond Freelancer range, you can get a fairly similar watch for about €400 less, which will have the same level of finishing, the same quality watch, same movement, but this has that extra benefit of having the Jimi Hendrix branding involved. And it's a pretty watch. I mean, the elements that they have implemented are very classy and very cool, but that's something you need to consider for yourself, whether or not you like these design cues. So the watch itself, it's a great watch, high finish. I think this illustrates really well why certain watches are more expensive, because it can be an element of the Jimi Hendrix branding, adding in a few €100 to the price. Having said that, I mean, when you get such a cool box and you open it up and you see all the elements that they've incorporated in the watch, I mean, it does make sense why it's more expensive, and it also makes the experience for yourself buying a luxury product, because a watch is never a very rational decision. This makes it all the more fun. And I mean, it's not for everyone. If you don't like Jimi Hendrix, well, obviously it's not going to be worth it. But if you're a Jimi Hendrix fan, then that price increase is definitely worth it, because the joy you will get from it is validates that price increase. Coming in at number 3, and this brand, I mean, we've done a lot of shout outs about that. We've now an official dealer of this brand. So if you're a follower of our channel, you're probably aware that we're an authorized dealer of Maurice Ravel watches. And we have a very cool 500-piece limited edition model in stock. Let me show it to you. This is the Maurice Ravel Mono Pusher. This is actually also a mechanical chronograph movement, similar to the Raymond one, but this one has a mono pusher operation, which means you can operate the chronograph via a single pusher, which makes all the difference, which is a special complication. So this is not a standard movement. And that is also why this watch is more expensive. Of course, the finishing level is great. It comes with a great strap. I mean, every watch that we're going to be featuring here today will have those features, the basic quality level, the finishing level, the deploy and clasp, they're all there. But this makes all the difference with this watch is that the movement in there, it's a 58-hour power reserve mono pusher movement. And that's makes all the difference when it comes to mechanical chronographs. And that's why it's more special than the rest. But of course, it's not just the movement. The watch itself looks phenomenal. The dial is great. The detailing on it is amazing. It's a 500 piece limited edition. Of course, it comes in a special box, not as special as the Jimi Hendrix one, but it's a great package you get for yourself. But the main reason to get this watch, aside from it looking amazing, of course, is you need to value the movement and the mono pusher element of it. If you don't care about that, it loses some of the added value, because you can get this sort of finishing level without this sort of movement with Maurice Ravel for less. So you do need to value that element of it. But then again, this is the sort of watch you really do fall in love with the lovely gradient dial, with the blue and red elements in there on the chronograph. You fall in love with the package with this one. On to number 2, and this one is truly for the watch geeks out there, or well, the people that really appreciate movements. Let me just show it to you. This is the Frederick Constant perpetual calendar moon phase, which features their own in-house movement. And not every Frederick Constant watch has an in-house movement, but they have a great range that reaches all the way up to tourbillons and so on. But this is a serious complication, because most watches feature some sort of calendar. This is a perpetual calendar that takes leap years into account. It has moon phase. I mean, this watch has a tremendous movement. And when you take into account that most perpetual calendar movements prior to Frederick Constant were at least 3 times more expensive than what we're charging for it. At us, it comes in at $44.99. This is just a phenomenal amount of watchmaking that goes into this watch. The movement is phenomenal. You put it on a watch winder and it automatically corrects the dates. It takes into account that, say, February has 28 days. It takes that into account, so you literally never really have to set it, aside from small timing adjustments. It does it all itself, and that's like a phenomenal feat. The watch itself, when you look at it, I mean, the finishing on the case is great. I mean, it's a fine watch, but obviously this is all about the movement. Also, when you take into account that it's not a rational decision to buy a watch. I've said that before, and I'll probably say it again. You buy a watch because you really like it. And let's be honest, yes, this watch adjusts for leap years and so on, which is very cool. But having to set your watch once every month, quite literally, if you're earning that much money in the minute that it takes you every month, and that will help you buy this $44.99 watch, it's not really an issue. So it does not save you a realistic amount of time, but it's just tremendous to have, and it's a tremendous feat of engineering, and especially that Frederick Constant is able to do it at this price point is phenomenal. So why would you buy this watch? Truly because you appreciate the styling. It's beautiful, it's classy, it's dressy, but mostly because of the movement. It's an in-house movement that they've developed themselves, and that's just what makes this watch ever so special. If you just want a dress watch with this sort of dial, you can get it for less, obviously, but you will not have a mechanical moon phase with a perpetual calendar on top. So this watch, from a watch geek perspective, for someone who appreciates movement and who appreciates the engineering, that's just what it's all about. You will not get a lot of street cred with this. I'm guessing that if you wear this watch, you will not end up in a rap video by any means, but it's still very cool if you appreciate the watchmaking behind it. Now, and onwards to our most expensive watch. Let me just show it to you. This is the Addox Label, again limited edition, which is again a mechanical chronograph. I'm sorry if I start to sound repetitive, but this one is a skeletonized chronograph movement. It's individually numbered on the case back. pattern on the side of the case, and on the case back you can see the phenomenal movement. And this is again a mechanical, well, obviously it's mechanical because you can see the insides of the movement, chronograph movement. And this was actually a special edition that Addox did to commemorate their founder. So they wanted to do something special, and they embraced the mechanical aspect of the watch, and they turned it into a very stylish, although rather big. It's big for a dress watch, but it has a phenomenal wrist presence, and they just took a great mechanical chronograph movement and skeletonized it. So it shows why you appreciate watches, how a watch runs, and all those elements. They combine it into this special limited edition. This is again one of those watches where you can get a mechanical chronograph movement for less, but it will not be this high element, high quality, well finished, skeletonized chronograph movement. It sort of evolves from just the chronograph movement to this phenomenal, beautiful piece. Now, you would truly buy this watch either if you have obviously some sort of connection to Addox, but also when you just really enjoy the beauty of it. This is a very beautiful, stylish piece. This is something that will get any conversation started, and it's just remarkably well finished. And that's also why it's the most expensive watch in our collection. To summarize, if you've seen our videos before, you know we're not the typical show-off company that has flashy watches with gold and diamonds, and we're not like that producer Michael guy that buys like $1 million Jacob & Co. watch. I mean, I'm not like that. I mean, his teeth are way shinier than mine. I mean, if we sell these watches, then maybe I do that. But so I hope that helps explain why certain watches carry a certain price tag, and why we sell them, and why we can stand behind them. Because ultimately, a price tag is just one thing. The product does need to live up to those standards. And as a business, we do only try to sell watches that justify the price. So I hope that this helps illustrate like the difference between what we've done with the more affordable watches, and to show the difference and why you would buy this watch rather than something else. If you have any suggestions for more videos, because we're going to be doing this every other week, so if you have any suggestions about what sort of watch we need to discuss or what sort of subject, just leave a comment below. I mean, we love to hear back from you, and thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.